welcome to this quick reminder video of what it means to be a tutor liaison. I'm Brother O'Shaughnessy, and I'm here to let you know that you have been selected as a tutor liaison. You're a tutor liaison probably because you're either a supervisor or you have an online math shift hour. You might have also been a tutor liaison in the past, so we have selected you as well. The key responsibility of a tutor liaison is to provide support to pathway students by encouraging them to get tutoring. We offer tutoring to pathway students via our online chat and also in a one-on-one setting, which you can set up in iPlan using Adobe Connect. So, as a pathway liaison, you now have either one or two classes, pathway classes in iLearn 2.0. iLearn 2.0. There are also a couple running in iLearn 3.0, but most of you have classes in iLearn 2.0. So I want to tell you what we need you to do for these classes. There's 4 main tasks. Number 1, we'd like you to create a intro email. You're going to want to introduce yourself, tell them who you are, tell them a little more about what you're doing, what you're studying, what your major is, how long you've been tutoring. Let them know who you are. And then after you've introduced yourself, we want you to offer support. Let them know that you are there for them. Some of the pathway students might be feeling a little lost, need a little extra guidance, and that's what you are there for. In the email, you should also let them know how to get tutoring. Again, we offer 2 ways that they can get tutoring. One is using the chat. And you'll want to give them the link to get to the chat, which is byui.edu/math help. That'll get them to the chat. And you'll definitely want to encourage them to use that because they're about to take their first test here in week 3. And so they need to know about the chat. The second thing that can happen is we offer pathway students one-on-one tutoring. Now, this one-on-one tutoring is a little different than what we normally do because pathway students don't have access to iPlan. And because they don't have access to iPlan, one-on-one tutoring has to be set up through Courtney, our tutor liaison, or through you yourself. So basically, if a student contacts you, you can tutor them. Or if you're pretty busy, then you can write down their information. We'll need a phone number and maybe a time they want to meet, and give that to Courtney or Deborah so we can make that happen. Again, pathway students can't sign up in iLearn, so it's your job to help them sign up. Does that make sense? Good. The next thing you'll need to do is review the gradebook each week. We want you to go into the gradebook and look who's doing well. The gradebook looks a little like this. I'll show it here to you. I've got a class here. Your pathway class probably looks like this. It won't say 24. You'll have a different section number. But basically, if you just click on the gradebook, you'll open that up and voila, you'll see the grades that your students are getting. You'll want to look out here specifically to see how they're doing. If you see any reds, that's definitely going to be a red flag to let them know. And definitely pay attention to the exams because our pathway students are allowed to take retakes on their exams. And you'll want to see if anybody gets a low score on an exam, you'll want to send an email to them saying, "Hey, you got a low score on your exam. How about you go over this with somebody and redo it?" Okay? You'll want to check the gradebook weekly. Your job is not to grade. We don't want you to grade. No grading. Don't grade these things. There's a teacher to grade. We just want you to contact students. You are there for them. You're their number 1 connection to the tutoring services here on campus. When you do let them know that they got a low score or something, definitely let them know that they can contact a tutor using the chat or one-on-one. If you're looking for more hours, you can tutor all of these students if you want. If you're like, man, I'm not getting enough hours, well then start signing them up. Get these students on your schedule. Because that's what we want you to do. And if you can't, if you're like, oh, I'm really packed, well then write their name down, get their phone number, email them, and when they contact you and say, yeah, I do need tutoring, ask them what time they want to meet at, and then we can get that set up with Courtney. Again, that's your number 3 task. When students contact you, you can tutor them yourself, But if you can't, then please let Courtney know so that she can get it set up. We need when you let Courtney know, she'll need a name and a phone number. That's the bare minimum that we'll need. Hopefully, they might give you a time that they want to meet at, and we will set those up individually. So some of you might say, "Oh, I have no time. When am I going to do this?" The best time to do these tasks are when the math lab is slow, or when there's no students in the chat. So if you have an online hour and you have nothing to do, then this might be something great for you to do during that time. And we would hope that you would get involved. You are getting a raise as a tutor liaison, and so we would expect you to do a little extra work during your off time. If the math lab's slow, sit down at a computer and take a look at your classes and assist those students. That's about it. If you have questions, please come and contact Courtney or myself. I'd love to assist. Thanks for watching. This is Brother O signing out. Go and help these Pathway students. They need your help, and you will bless their lives. Thanks so much for watching.